Okay, we're back. I think the issue was that NVIDIA GeForce wanted to do a driver update, which took a little bit longer than expected. But that feels a chunk better. 80 FPS. That's, yeah, better. Better or worse? Okay, so where were we? Self-management. Yes, we get to go and meet one of the friendly-ish beast tribes now. The Sylphs, who, as we learned earlier on already, are in Gridania. They are the peaceful tribe as opposed to the Ixal, who are the not quite so peaceful tribe that the Gridanians are having to deal with. So Minfilia needs you to investigate the Sylphs. Of course she does.
Now, having set aside the formalities,
Oh God.
we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
Haven't we already had that exchange?
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained, until such time as we know. It would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
There we go then. So we are off to see the Sylphs. We're going to start off by teleporting to Gridania. What do you unlock? Broadening horizons. Toyomuyu will grant you passage through the White Wolf Gate. Oh yes. We'll do this while we're here. Demajen, is it not? I've been following your exploits with great interest. You have served Uldar well, but I believe your greatest accomplishments are yet to come. It is with such lofty expectations that I would grant you passage beyond Gridania's own White Wolf Gate. Take this pass and show it to Franchemonteau, the gatekeeper. Get yourself well for the battles to come. I am sure the news of your deeds will reach me again before long. Yes, the White Wolf Gate is the one down here, which takes you out into the higher level area of Central Shroud. We've been here before, because we went down to that dungeon there. So Bent Branch and stuff, that's kind of a level 1 to 12-ish, something like that area. But up here, there are a lot of kind of mobs in the 30s and early 40s. We'll come back to the Adder's Nest in a moment, because this actually should take us to level 30. So here's Franchemonteau. Only those who possess a gate pass may travel through the White Wolf Gate. It is for your own good. Fearsome beasts that lurk beyond would tear an unprepared adventurer limb from limb. You have papers? Let's see now. Yes, everything appears to be in order. Go in safety, Demajen. In the future, should you wish to pass, you need only say the word. Do, 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 do. There we are then. Level 30. Level 30 is a nice milestone. It's the end of the classes and the start of jobs. And we're going to go and do that actually after we've handed this in, but before we finish before we continue the story. We know far too little of the sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we're to... beg pardons? 'Tis a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Okay, so before I continue with that, we're going to go and do a couple of things. We're going to go to Bent Branch. And I'm hoping, as I say, it's been a long time since I've done this, but I'm hoping I have a feeling we need to do that quest first. Hold on. Hold on. Am I being a noob? Yes, I am. The quest actually starts somewhere else. We need to come back here, but the actual quest starts here with Dosette. My feisty little chocobo. The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle-trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Lucolot over at Bent Branch Meadows. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all manners concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Buy some geese or greens. We shall need those to summon our chocobo into battle. Here's Luculot. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? No. Very well. To begin, we will need a bunch of Gissel greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. So we actually need quest-related Gissel greens first, and they are in this delightful vegetable patch. Take them back to Luculot. Have you acquired the greens? Yarp. Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of Gissel greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you, and then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortomp family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard, and we will meet up with them much later in the story. In fact, in Heavensward mostly. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of Gissel greens, and together make your way to Soul Haven. The brood ziz that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gissel greens on your person at all times. A resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. So yeah, you need Gissel greens to summon. I have mine on the bars. And your chocobo can be given various stances. Now I've got all these down here. So withdraw will dismiss it. Free stance will basically let it do whatever it feels like. Attacker stance, defender stance and healer stance are unlocked when you get to the skill tree. Companion skill level is 2 luck, because as you can see, your companion has skill trees, and depending on its level, it doesn't take a lot of XP to level up, you can specialise it in one of 3 ways. You can turn it into a tank, you can turn it into a healer, and you can turn it into an attacker. Now, bearing in mind that you are not limited in this regard, you can actually use it in all manners. You can pick whichever you want. I tend to find it very useful to put a point in chocobo regen, because that gives you a reasonably nice heal over time, and then probably can also cure you at rank 4, and then put some into an attacker, which is roughly what we're going to do. So you'll notice that he will now join us kicking some ass. Won't do a lot of damage at the initial levels, but it'll do so. And yeah, so Chocobo's gain a portion of XP per mob. So Az has already hit level 1. And I will take a look at that help text in a moment. There we go. That's those 3 sorted. So, companion skills. As your Chocobo's rank increases, they will earn skill points. These can be used to acquire new companion-specific actions and traits. 3 different skill trees. When your Chocobo acquires his first skill from any of these trees, he will also learn that tree's stance. Activating the defender stance will turn your Chocobo into a defensive-minded stalwart. No, it won't. Unfortunately, due to how the game scales and how much damage you output, the tank stance is, in my experience, rubbish and a waste of time. You output so much damage that it can't hold aggro off you. So if you are leveling up your Chocobo, basically you can ignore the defender stance for the most part. The healer stance and the attacker stance, on the other hand, are very useful. So what I'm going to do is open up the companion. I'm going to put a point in healer to start off with, because that will enable us to have a Chocobo that will cast regen on us, and it will also unlock the healer stance, which wasn't available before. That being said, there's not much point using the healer stance currently, because if you do that, all it will do is cast regen on you. And because regen's got a timer of, what was it, 18 seconds or something? Yeah, 18 seconds. So it won't do anything else for 18 seconds. If you put it on free stance, when you get down to a certain HP percentage, it will cast regen on you, and then it will continue attacking. That's more useful. So, you've successfully negotiated your first few battles with your Chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings and build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. And there is actually another quest available, but you can only do that if you own a house. And all that does is help you change the colour, if I remember correctly, of your Chocobo, which not hugely helpful. Right, step 2. We're going to go and do the final gladiator quest. And after that, there's some vaguely new content, because how they've changed the job system in 4.0 means that I won't need to go and level Conjurer to 15, which is what we used to have to do before we unlocked Paladin. So this will give us some level 30 gear, a new ability, Shield Swipe, which is quite useful, and some highish level or appropriate level gear. First Submiler is extremely upset due to a recent turn of events. Damn it all to the 7th Hell, this is madness. It's Aldis. He's been arrested by the Brass Blades. They're claiming he was plotting to assassinate the Sultana. This is utter nonsense. He's no motive to do so, and whatever I've said about the man, he would never resort to using poison. The Alacron must be behind this. They've failed to kill him time and again, and now they're reaching out to their monetarist allies. I didn't want to believe Wyman when he said they'd had such influence, but wait. That's it. If anyone can help us unravel this plot, it's Wyman. He's a reputation for knowing things he shouldn't, after all. Find Wyman. See what he can tell us. Aldous is many things, but he is not a murderer. Wymond is, as far as I can remember, in the same place he always is, which is just outside the Aetheryte Plaza. Yeah, there he is. I was wondering when you might come along, Demajen. Frankly, I'm surprised Aldous went so quietly. You ought to know there's no walking away from this. What will we ask? It's kind of annoying that we only get to ask one of these. What happened between Aldous and Leovold? Or why would he surrender himself? Why would he surrender himself? You really don't know, do you? Best to start at the beginning then. Aldous is something of an enigma. He and Leovold were two of the greatest gladiators ever to grace the Bloodsands, but he threw all that hard-fought glory away for a few Gilmore. See, the average Uldan loves a good Colosseum fight, and what better way to make a gladiatorial spectacle more entertaining than wagering on the outcome? So, when it got out that Aldous was orchestrating a match-fixing scheme of untold proportions, well, you can imagine the shock and anger the people felt. He was expelled from the Colosseum, and his wins were stricken from the record. Your guildmaster Myla got the worst of it, though. Not only was her friend exposed as a fraud, but around the same time her father fell ill and passed away. There were some oddities surrounding his death, too. It was rumoured he took his own life out of shame for his disgraced pupil, or that he might have even been murdered by the man. Baseless conjecture, really, but it made Aldous look that much worse. In the end, Myla lost two of the most important men in her life, and was forced to take charge of the guild alone. And Leovold? He tried to go it solo on the Bloodsands, but it wasn't the same. Without Aldous, his career was finished. Now you know the nature of the man you so desperately want to save, though, judging from that look in your eyes, I gather you still have your reservations. Fine, then. Though you can't blame me for doubting a man found in possession of Valga's bile. It's a vile poison, rare and expensive too. Only the Corpse Brigade knows how to make it, I hear. Gods only know why they'll give it to Aldous. Could go to their headquarters at the Sepulchre in Southern Thanalan and ask them direct, I reckon. I have an aversion to direct confrontation personally, but you don't, do you? By the by, should you save the poor bastard's life, tell him we're even, and that I hope it was all worth it. Oh, we can't go there yet, because we haven't been to Southern Thanalan. We'll need to come back to Southern Thanalan, actually, for the first Paladin quest, so it's good that we're going down to do this. Admittedly, they know that, because you can't do the Paladin quest until you've done the Gladiator one. So let us head south, because we haven't been down here. We've been to Halatali, although we haven't actually been in Halatali yet. But we haven't been down into Southern Thanalan, which is a nice area. And we'll go and pick up a couple of things while we're there. Technically, actually, we have been to Southern Thanalan, because Zanrak was where we were held prisoner. Yes, that is the right way. That was where we were held prisoner for the Ifrit fight. But generally speaking, we have not been there for anything else. So we'll go have a quick look down there. It's a nice deserty place. In fact, it is the most deserty of the places in the base game. And also, while we are here, let's kill some Sabo Tenders! As you can see, Sabo Tenders cast 100 needles. It's a very small AoE, but it's reasonably fast casting. You get just enough time to get out of it. To be honest, it doesn't do a huge amount of damage either. In fact, let's see how much damage it does do, because it'll give you the opportunity to see the 50 damage. We haven't actually taken enough damage for the Chocobo to bother keep casting regen on us. Oh, there we go. Choco regen. So now we get a little 18-second regen effect. Which will very easily heal us up. Okay, so there we go. Sometimes the recommendations window does not update properly. Oh no! I have been aggroed by a beast. So what we want to do is get into. This is the sunken temple over here. It is one of my favourite instances, mostly because I died a lot in the sunken temple. Right, this place is full of enemies, and it is very easy to get overwhelmed. What you don't want to do is aggro everybody here. Let's drag them over here, actually. Come on. Oh, darn. Your Chocobo will draw aggro if you're not attacking the same target as it. It will attack the... I think it'll attack the first target that you do and continue attacking it even if you change targets. You'll notice it's taking damage from venomous bites. Because it's got its own aggro table, enemies will use abilities on them, and it can die as well. It will also, however, heal itself. This way. Go down there. Stay away, Mr. Knuckle Dancer. Ow. We've been stunned. Shall let the Kraken deal with that. Switch to this bowman. Right. Okay, let's get out of here. the exit? Oh, it's there. Literally right next to it. And while we are here, buzz off. Obviously now we have our chocobo, we can outrun mobs quite nicely. Keep in mind though that if you are not a tank class, you can very easily get heavied or slowed or knocked off your mount. And if you've been running away, you may have quite a few people chasing you, and if you've got heavy on you, which dramatically decreases your movement speed, you may struggle to get away. We're just going to go into Little Alamigo here and unlock this Aetheryte. Going to take the chocobo back, just while I get up and have a little walk around. As you can see, it's quite weird playing without the UI. Where have you been, Demajen? Aldous has been given over into the custody of the Sacrarium. They mean to execute him. We must do something. So we've got details of dealings made between the Alaquin and the Corpse Brigade for the purchase of a deadly poison known as Ralga's Bile. We've also got a sample of that poison, made famous when it was used to assassinate an Alamegan king. Almost all of the key items in the game, in fact all of the items in the game, have got some kind of flavour text, and sometimes when you are questing and you're trying to get through things, you can miss out on little tidbits of lore like that. This poison, is it? You've proof that the Alaquin purchased it from the Corpse Brigade? Thank the gods you've done it. Quickly, we must show this to the official presiding over his execution at Highbridge. Go, now! So I mentioned like 2 episodes ago, maybe more, that we'd be going out to High Bridge at some point, and now I'm making good on that assertion. Assertion is the word that I'm after. I've not even had that much to drink. But yes, this is High Bridge. So called because it is a bridge and it's quite high. Shocking, I know. There's also some really cool kind of sunken statues and temple frontage and stuff like that down there, which unfortunately we don't get to explore, though I suppose we do get to go to the sunken temple of Khan. So we want to be going down here. Now, it should be noted that despite you now having your awesome Chocobo companion, they can't come with you into instance battles. Instance battles like this are 100% solo. Which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a shame. The Sacrarium has sentenced you to death for your crimes against the Sultanates. Have you any last... Huh? Who are you, and what do you want? So we'll hand over the proof. And this will get us into the instance. These are bold accusations you make, adventurer. However, the Sacrarium has found the prisoner guilty in the eyes of gods and men, and he will be executed forthwith. So even with proof. Don't waste your breath, Demajen. Thal's scales have always yielded to wealth above all else, and Lervold's robbed to fortune to secure my sentence. Silence, criminal! And you! What are you waiting for? Do it! Nod. Where did that... Aldous! You just couldn't stay away, could you? Well, at least I'd have to steal the headsman's axe. Cha-ching! If the gods are to have blood this day, I'm afraid it won't be mine. Since you two are so devout, perhaps you'd be willing to offer yourselves in exchange. Mercy! Shock horror. Interfering with the law is a heinous crime. In fact, I believe it is punishable by death. It's battle music time. I had a feeling the spectacle would draw you here. I should have dealt with you myself from the start. Come, let's dance, brother. So that's to be a rematch. Very well, I accept. Mile and the others need you, Demajen. Leave him to me. Man, I'm paler than I thought in that light. So this particular instance is a little bit different than some of the others in that it is an instance version of a slightly different shaped area, and you have to fight your way through it as opposed to people running in from the outside. Can't remember whether we've done it any like this so far. Kill the kindness first. Don't know what that says about my my life advice. Kill kindness first. You'll notice that monks can heal themselves. I failed this the very first time I did it. So you can fail these instance battles. Can't remember how I failed it, but I did fail it. Hey! Who the hell healed you? Oh, the guy over there. They're casting thunder too. Yeah, so you can see that I'm taking a fair chunk of damage. So I'm just gonna... This is the red line that I was talking about. We haven't really seen one of them properly. I think I probably must have just gone charging in. Right, let's get some of these down. Ooh, he's level 34. Let's deal with the littler ones first. I'm gonna die. Yeah, see, you can fail them. Well, that's kind of annoying. I wonder if some of these things haven't quite been rebalanced properly for the reshifted job system. If you hit escape, you can skip cutscenes so that you can get back into it. You can't stop their heal. Come on. Oh joy, he's going to summon a demon. Mila should... Yes, there you go. If you're within range, she will heal you. Smash! Excuse me. Ugh. Oh, Jesus Christ. This healing magic is ridiculous. I don't remember doing this much damage to him before. Dang. Should have done that first. That makes things a little bit easier. I suspect I probably figured that out before. Right, let's get rid of these guys now. Kill off the weaker enemies. Grr. And now we mop up. I've just noticed that Leovold and Aldous are actually up there. You'll notice in protracted battles that even as a tank, your TP, which is what you pay for abilities with, can get very low. If you're a DPS job, chances are you'll have something to help restore some TP. Aldous! Aldous! Ching, parry, slash. Shove. You almost had me, Leovold. Stay back. I won't have your pity. You just have to have it all, didn't you? Just one victory, just one bloody match. But your precious ego couldn't accept that. You ruined everything. Tell me, Aldous, how does it feel to lose your name, your legacy, everything you've ever loved? I want to know how much you suffered. Let it go, Leovold, it's over. I think we know what's going to happen now. Like hell's it is. I swear you'll never know peace. Not in this life, or the next. Leovold, no! Whee. You know damn well neither of us will see Thal's realm. That's the where the good people go. Let's go. Our comrades are waiting. Yeah, Noel, Thal are the kind of twin gods of death and the afterlife, and Nold is where bad people go, if I remember correctly, and Thal is where. Actually, I can probably. No. Thal's realm is where criminals and murderers and cheats and liars and basically everybody goes. Right, this is it. This is the end of the gladiator chain. I'm glad you were there, Demajen. Without you, I doubt we could have defeated the Aliquin. Have you ever considered the Colosseum? You'd make a wonderful attraction. Of course, you need a title that befits your prowess. Now that it's all over, you will be staying, won't you? No, Leovold may be dead, but the Aliquin are far from finished. I'd rather not linger and give them a chance to regroup and seek revenge. 'Tis a tragedy that I cannot enjoy the company of Uldar's lovely ladies any longer, but I have faith that equally radiant beauties await me in distant lands. Aldous, Not another word, my dear. It's bad enough that the First Sword has permitted a disgraced gladiator to fraternise with her subordinates. Can you imagine the scandal if she became personally involved with the man? Nevertheless, I understand how you feel, Myla. I'm known to have this effect on the fairer sex. I should let the headsman have his way with you. That way you might learn something of humility. Ah, but how am I supposed to remember the lesson without a head? Your father would be proud of you, Myla. Don't ever change. Ah, that's right. I wanted to teach you something before I go, Demajen. If you strike an opponent with your shield immediately after blocking his attack, you can disorient him, rendering him incapable of using his own special techniques. It's a trick I call shield swipe. I won many bouts on the Bloodsands using this strategy, including my last match against Leovold 7 years ago. If it hadn't been for that match, I would never have... He begged me to lose that day, said we'd win a sultan's ransom, but I just couldn't do it. It takes complete confidence in your abilities to master it, but you do not want for confidence, do you? You risked your life when victory was anything but certain and proving yourself to be an incredible gladiator. Never lose that fighting spirit. Trust in your comrades, have faith in your skills, and you'll triumph over any adversity. And with that, I bid you all farewell. I bet I have to wait 7 years to see that bastard again. There's still so much I want to... What the 7 hells are you looking at? This is a training hall. Why aren't you all training right now? You think all it takes to stand on the Bloodsands is a sword and a stupid grin? No. It takes years of hard work, an ocean of blood and sweat, and an unbreakable will. Every man and woman here has the potential to become a champion, but it is you and you alone who decides your destiny. And your special green gloves. So answer me now, gladiators. Will you follow in the footsteps of your brothers and sisters and inscribe your names in legend? Aye. Yeah. I actually don't know what's going to give me the most. 14 defense. Plus 14, plus 7, plus 11. us. Action learned. Shield swipe. This one time, at level 30... What's that do? Ah. Cool. Let's equip those. Now you'll notice this Lulutsu has a quest called the Paladin's Pledge for you as soon as you finish the Gladiator chain. She wishes to share with you some exciting news. Oh, there you are, Demajen. Perfect timing. I've just heard a juicy bit of gossip that I know you're going to be interested in. Apparently, and remember you heard this first from me, the Sultan Sworn Elite is sharing the secret skills and training of paladins. Incredible, I know. The Sultan Sworn have an exclusive monopoly on the instruction of paladin skills. Once upon a time, if you weren't one of those officers track elites, then you had no chance to learn the arts. And competition to get to the top was very fierce indeed, let me tell you. But anyone who joined had to swear an oath of fealty to the Ul'dan Sultanates, which meant no more adventuring, no more daring do, and no more Colosseum, just languishing about in the palace all day, polishing plate mail. That's why this news is so big. Now anyone with a bit of commitment can learn the skills of a paladin, and no memorising the 55 commandments of the Sworn or any other nonsense either. This is a platinum opportunity that comes but once in a lucky adventurer's lifetime. Let this slip through your fingers and regret will be your just desserts. You need to go to the Royal Promenade in the Hoosting Strip, find the captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite, Jenlin is his name, and tell him how you're just dying to become a paladin. And we are actually dying to become a paladin. Terrible. This is Jenlin's. We'll be seeing a lot of him. He has a fantastic amount of facial hair. We don't. Yes, I am Jenlin's, member of the Sultan Sworn Elite and servant to the Ul'dan Sultanate. Unless my instincts deceive me, you have come to inquire about training as a paladin. If so, I would have your name, good woman. Demajen, a fine name. I bid you welcome and salute your noble resolve. But if you aspire to paladinhood, you must understand what it means. A paladin swears allegiance to the Sultanate. A paladin shall be the sword and shield of the Sultanate. A paladin defends the people of the realm. Sellswords and gladiators and others of their ilk wield their blades for themselves, but a paladin serves the greater good. Do you understand me? The battle arts that the paladin learns have been held secret, nurtured and perfected within the ranks of the Sultan Sworn Elite for nigh on these 600 years. Of all those sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, the mounted guards and the knights, we are the elite of the elite. Our conviction unwavering, our hearts true, our sword skills without peer. But the glory of the Sultan Sworn, well, much of it is buried in the past now. Our brotherhood grows smaller by the year. We are a shadow of what we once were, and the Sultana turns to sellswords to defend her palace. All this because of one traitor. No, because of a blot of dishonour left by one who shall not be named. Because of him we have been forced to seek the help of able-bodied adventurers. And here you are. We shall instruct you in the paladin military arts. You will not be inducted into the Sultan Sworn, but serve as a free paladin. However, first you will show us that both your sword and heart have metal, and you are worthy of the honour. In the ruins to the south of Little Alamigo you will find an iron brazier. Light it, and the undead nearby will be drawn to the flame. Slay these monsters and give their hearts to the fire. Return and present to me their ashes as proof of your deed. Now, would-be paladin, show me the metal in your heart and steel in your blade. And as it happens, we've just been and unlocked the Aetherite, a little Alamigo. It's almost like I knew this was going to come up soon. The area we want is just down here. I pointed it out earlier. It's this kind of weird structure with the random enemies standing around. These enemies are actually undead. You'll notice that you've got some with slightly different thing next to the name. They are harder, just like those stags that we saw. They're much harder to kill. So what we want to do is we want to sneak around like this. We can have our chocobo to help us. And kill these undead that spawn. That is a shield swipe. Pacifies the enemy and prevents them from using any kind of weapon skill ability. Every 15 seconds it can be used, assuming you have blocked an attack. And you tend to block a lot of attacks as a paladin or a gladiator. It's kind of the point. Keep in mind that you can't get shield swipe procs from... Well, actually, no, you can, can't you now? Because you can block magic attacks. You couldn't used to. You'll also notice we've got challenge log entry, Bosom Buddies 1 almost complete. If you check your challenge log, you'll notice that we are accruing progress towards our challenge log. We've completed 2 dungeons since we unlocked it. We've done Copperbell and we've done what's its face. Gotta remember to actually do this before I teleport back. Ooh, hold on, got a cutscene. I shall continue that in a moment because we're going to meet Mr. Moustache now, I believe. Yes. If you are seeking this place searching for the undead, then you must be a petitioner seeking the secrets of the paladin arts. But make no mistake, simply learning paladin swordplay does not make you a paladin, nor does the armor you wear or the status you claim. I am just another aging free paladin, but you would do well to heed my counsel. Strike off the shackles that bind your spirit, lift the visor that blinds, and find the true path of the paladin. Here, you will be returning to the captain, yes? And give him this crystal. The way you use that sword reminds me of a man I used to know. Mine eyes may be old, but they can see the truth well enough. Be a paladin, strong and true. Devote yourself to the way. Become a beacon of light. Ta-da! Yes, so as I was saying, companions. You'll notice that we can get some extra companion XP by killing enemies with our companion out. You need 20 for the first one, which is really easy to do. And then you can defeat 100. Again, if you're doing open world content like Fates, etc., etc., it is very, very easy to do that. And you pretty much want to be filling out as many of your challenge log entries every week for the various bonuses. Some of them award gil, some of them award Grand Company seals. But that guy that we just met is an interesting character, and I do quite like his story. Face the undead monsters who infest the ruins south of Little Alamigo in southern Thanalan. Defeat them and return with proof of your deed. The charred remnants of 3 Ashkin hearts, proof that you have overcome Jelin's trial. Yes, that's what I needed. Proof that you have defeated the undead. You have shown that your heart is true and your sword has metal. I have no doubt that you will prove to be an attentive pupil. That is well, for there is much to learn. First and foremost is this. You are a paladin now, a custodian of traditions ancient and noble. A free paladin has no master. Instead, she travels all lands and in every place takes up the cause of the unarmed and defenceless. You swear fealty not to a lord, but to yourself. You are nobility amongst adventurers. You have taken your first steps on a new path, and you have earned the right to bear this, the soul of the paladin. Upon its surface are carved the deeds of paladins of eras past. She who bears it commands the respect of all knights of honour. Bahamut's Fang, you already possess a crystal? And you say it was given to you by an unknown free paladin who told you to hand it to me? Where is this crystal of which you speak? I demand you show it to me at once. Strange yet beautiful runes have been carved upon the surface of this otherwise normal looking crystal. Curse him! He's made a mockery of the trial. That crystal you bear is indeed the soul of the paladin, but it is disgraced, impure. It was stolen from the Sultan Sworn. The man who gave you this soul is the very traitor whom I have been seeking these many moons. He is an oath-breaker, who bent his knee to the Uldan Sultanate and who swore allegiance to the Sultan Sworn, but then single-handedly sullied our name and trampled it underfoot until it was lost, perhaps forever. How dare he give counsel on honour, on the paladin way? This soul is polluted, and I must dispose of it. When you come to wield your sword as a paladin, the only soul you may wear is that which is bestowed by a captain of the Sultan Sworn. That traitor is no Sultan Sworn, but still less a captain. By giving you a soul, he insulted not only the Brotherhood, but you too. Perhaps an adventurer like yourself finds our rules nothing more than a nuisance, but through reigns long and short our forebears in the Sultan Sworn have preserved its rituals and traditions, and we are duty-bound to uphold them, even if men and women within our ranks scorn them as relics. It has been my fate to be named captain of the Sultan Sworn in these troubled times. Though I did not ask for this honour, I have bent my knee to the Sultana and sworn fealty, and I will fight to restore our honour and name. You wield a skilled blade, and more importantly you have met the traitor face to face. Your great task as a paladin will be to help me bring him to justice. You must ready yourself, marshal your resources and hone your skills until the time comes when you are able to discharge your duty. The journey will be long, but you are a paladin now, and honour binds you as surely as an oath. Next paladin quest will be available from Jenlins upon reaching level 35. Paladin unlocked. The souls of Paladin's Path bequeath to you their wisdom. You'll see that animation a lot. Okay. So, a couple of things. You'll notice there a number of available gear sets increased. Because we didn't go and unlock any other jobs or classes or whatever, we didn't actually have access to any other gear sets. I'm not entirely sure why Bard is highlighted there. That's weird. But we've now got access to Paladin. And in order to equip Paladin, we need to use its soul crystal. Each job has its own soul crystal, which can be equipped via the armory chest. You'll have limited access to actions from other classes. That's a little bit of a relic. Well, no, I suppose it's not. You will still have access to some of, well, all of the gladiator abilities so far. But basically, you'll notice that there's been this down there. All we do, we drag that soul crystal, and that changes us into a paladin. And I'm going to update my Gladiator gear set to Paladin. And that will automatically change both its icon and its name to Paladin. Now, the only real difference that you'll notice is that because we're now a Paladin, our bars have changed. You shouldn't notice too much of a difference because I put stuff in the same places, but you'll notice that there are many more abilities now because these are my Paladin bars and not my Gladiator bars. The only thing that we need to do is go and put our roll actions on. Now, interestingly enough, until we hit 32, we've only got access to 2 out of the 5 that we would otherwise have had. You'll notice that you only get access to 5 total as opposed to the 10 that we originally had as a Gladiator. But we've also got access to job actions. So we've still got our Gladiator actions. We've got our Gladiator trait, but we've also got some new ones, including Oath Mastery, Divine Magic Mastery, Enhanced Cover, and we've got all these new job abilities. Now, the thing is, we've got this new ability, Shield Oath, which is great for dungeons, but it's absolutely useless for leveling. Reduces damage dealt by 20% while reducing... reduces damage taken by 20% while reducing damage dealt by 15% and increasing enmity. So this is your tank stance. It gives us the little stance gauge over here, which is all that does for the time being. That's our tanking stance, and whenever we are tanking, we want that to be on. When we are doing other stuff, we don't, because we're losing out on a massive chunk of damage, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're now going to go back to Gridania and carry on with the level 20, I think it is, story, now that we've hit level 30. Yes, yes indeed. Right, so we need to go over to the Adder's Nest. Dim. Okay, let's talk to Vassal. Commander Vassal Hulur has been awaiting the aid of the Scions. Hail, adventurer. I bid you welcome to the Adder's Nest. Do you seek to entwine your destiny with the Twin Adder? Morning, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Hi, Ida. Ida and Papalimo. Always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the Scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of this 12-sword home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind. It is precisely for this reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning among our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry indeed. Do we strike at Ramu, or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make, or anybody, actually. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It will not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorne Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the sylph's favour. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalimo. Yes, Ida. Now, annoyingly, despite the fact that we've already actually unlocked the Aetherytes to the Hawthorne Hut, we have to do this the proper way. So we teleport out to the Lancers Guild. We talk to Mitteni. The ferry docked at the base of the hill will carry across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you are sure, head due east and you should find the Hawthorne Hut without much trouble. The Hawthorns are most welcoming folk who have shown us no small measure of goodwill. Still, a bit of courtesy goes a long way. I'd encourage you to stop by Full Flower Combe and introduce yourself to Rosa before you travel on. We want to go to the Sweetbloom Pier. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweetbloom Pier in the East Shroud. There's a paladin there. And here we are. It's a lovely little place. You've got very little reason to come here, unfortunately. Like a lot of stuff in FF14, most places on the map have only really got one, maybe two uses, but they're almost all used for a quest or a fate or an instance battle or something like that. So this is Full Flower Combe, which is where they make honey, I think. An adventurer! Thank the 12, you couldn't have come at a more opportune time. Please, you must help us. It's our bees! The poor little dears are under attack by a murderous swarm of hornets. These beehives are our livelihood, you must save them. Notice the purple glow, we all know what that means. Enemies are going to attack. They are, however, level 20 enemies, because we are, as we have been for quite some time now, a tad over leveled. And there's our challenge completed. So you'll notice that we're almost at rank 2. Did I? Oh, it was the shield that we couldn't use yet. Thank you, friend. Finally our bees can make their honey in peace. I knew you were 12 cent the moment I laid eyes upon you. You travelled to our hut, you say? Would speak with the serpent officer there. There is one who goes by Amalane. He's a sentry at Jocelyn's spire, but makes regular excursions to our hut. He's quite enamoured of her honey and the tales of my husband Rolf, though I've found it to be tight-lipped around those he's unfamiliar with. Ooh, I know what we might try. Why don't you take him a jar of fresh honey to him? I reckon you'll find him more than talkative then. So, going to go and deliver this pot of honey from the honey yard. These mobs are kind of slugs. Even if you are doing this on level, then this area doesn't exactly hold many particularly challenging issues. We want to be going inside here. And here is Amalane, who sat next to Rolf, who is Rosa's husband. Indeed, I am Amalane of the Twin Adder. Your face is unfamiliar to me. You have a present for me, you say? A jar of Rosa's honey, and freshly harvested to boot. You certainly know how to make a first impression, friend. Ah, so you are the adventurer of whom the commander spoke. Do forgive me for being curt. My stomach was rumbling something fierce. My word, this honey, like liquid gold. Forgive me. You have not come to discuss honey, but sylphs. For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. In their trust, however, they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all know. Would you know more? You do well to speak to Rosa's husband here, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Let's put this Hoplon on. Hoplon are round shields. They've got a high block rate. So this is Rolf. He looks really young because there's only so many models, sadly, in the game. But whatever. Yeah, we're still on the level 20 quests. Sylphic studies. Wolf Hawthorne, patriarch of the beekeeping Hawthorne family, is said to be well versed in Sylphic customs. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're beg pardon, friend, my memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now, though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. So we get to go and take a little walk around. Most importantly, with Isabel here. The sylphs? Yes, father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles and chocobo scratches. The sylphs are, in my opinion, quite entertaining. Is Blazit? The quickest way to acquire a woman's heart might be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun. Well, so Rolf once told me. You'll notice I have a weird tendency to every now and again switch into a French accent for the Ellison. The Ellison naming structure, Blazet, Monet, is based on Old French. And in an attempt to keep this vaguely exciting and entertaining and embarrass myself when I come to watch these back, I like to vary the accents up. The sylphs? Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing mobile faces on their masks, the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop, and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they are by no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. So the sylphs are tricksters. They have got a very different manner of speaking and talking and interacting with people. Oh, of course, hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe-tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honoured greeting among their kind. You do well to remember this. It just may help win the favour of our forest friends. And yes, it does. Dancing is important. Rolf Hawthorne would share further knowledge to assist you in befriending the filths? No, sylphs. Oh, still here, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To win the trust, you'd do well to bring along what was it again? And Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. So we get to take a little trip back. If you're on level for this, then the vultures will aggro you. As will, I think the slugs? No, not the slugs, the boars. No, not the boars. Didn't they used to aggro? Anyway, yeah, the vultures will. So it could be a little more irritating to get back. A peace offering for the sylphs. I'll give you another jar of my honey, but I fear they wouldn't get past your front doorstep, dear. No, their taste run more to the unusual. Are you familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of the most fiendish seek in the Oku. Ochu? Oku? I can never remember how to pronounce these things. How do you pronounce Ochu? Ochu. Ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'll not catch me dead trying this stuff, but they still seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an Ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Ow. I managed to bite the inside of my cheek earlier, like a complete twit. Okay, this has got an item to use. With branches of thrashing, the vegetation springs to life. What? Yeah. There we go. Nice and straightforward. Back to the Hawthorne hut. So we've got some milkroot, which the sylphs find very tasty. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milkroot, but of course. The sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same. Yeah, I've only had one glass of them. The effect's just about the same as well. Anyway, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling your friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. You'll notice that whilst we're getting a good chunk of XP, it is still like level 20 XP. So it's making a dent, but not a huge dent. taken the liberty of wrapping your milk root well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh. Not to mention spare from that god's awful stench. Tar. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the marble that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You've more important matters to attend to today, yeah? These sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared the company enough to know they're kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by in your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you'd regale me with your adventuring tales. Nod. Oh, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Amelania would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. It's good to see your knowledge of sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Camuxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and he has the close ear of his tribe's elder. I see that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver. A missive from the elder seer herself. To summarise the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Ride the Kraken. Okay, so we're going over to Little Solace. There is a fate that spawns here. You'll also notice that these aggressive mobs are level 16, so again you'll either have to fight them or go around. Same goes for these Ziz as well. But this is Little Solace. And it's quite a cool little place. I do quite like the sylphic architecture. And the music is also quite cool. Sylphs themselves are these cutesy little things. And they are basically a cross between fairies and lettuce, at least in my head. In a later patch they introduced quests that you could do for the sylphs, and that's what these guys are all for here. And that's why that sylphic bender is there. But we can't use them yet. In fact, you can't do anything with them. I think it's until level 42 or something like that. You've got somebody who will sell you level 20-ish weapons here. Not a huge amount of use for us at this level. But there we go. Ooh, have I got any stuff to sell? Yeah, I have. Sell this tat. Oh, and we must go and check. Yes. Aria has returned from her venture. So we shall go and see what she did and how she got on. You can't actually fail them. Walking one is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story. But this one expects no such thing. Walking one should go home and leave this one be. The sylphs have an interesting relationship with pronouns, let's put it that way. And you'll notice from that speech there that if there's something in red, it wants us to do an emote at it. In this case, dance. This one would welcome Walking One who moves like these ones. If Walking One would talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so Walking One should speak with a quick tongue. Walking One would bring gift to this one. Walking One is most kind. Walking One brings milk root. Milk root fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks, gives many, many thanks. Walking One carries message from Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys from Gridania, and we're here to treat with your people. Hey, we come to pay our respects to your elder, and to learn from him more of your Lord Ramu. Who are these ones? These Walking Ones come from Gridania? Walking One became a dancing one and brought milk root, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking Ones should go home. Go home, you say? But the Sylphs of Little Solace have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Demajen here is an oath of peace penned by the Elder Seedseer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking Ones. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking Ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Demajen's jig insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. It doesn't really matter which of these you choose. These are potions that cure various status effects, which you will probably never use. Okay, I'm going to nip to the loop. Do we have G-pose at this level? Yeah, we do. No. Okay, you can watch me dancing for a little while. Back in a moment. You'll no doubt all be pleased to know that there are other dance emotes in the game. Right, let us continue. Ida has a notion of how one might earn the Sylph's trust. Just double check this is still working. Yes. Say, Demajen, are you in the mood for dancing? I'm in the mood. That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. While you're at it, why not dance for the Gridanians around here as well? Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer sharing my culture with her own kind. Me, of course, I'd be happy to join. Ow! Ow! There go those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Oh, Ida. Okay, so we're gonna go dancing. Oops. Almost slapped him. Dancing for Knulexia? Knulexia? Probably a silent K. Ooh, Walking One knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. Zacchaeus. This is the first time I've actually seen the ARR dance. That's some fine dancing, friend. Why, if you were half as tall and twice as green, I might have mistaken you for a Sylph myself. Anyway, the Sylphs are a peaceful folk. Approach them with an open-minded heart and they'll open up to you in turn. Amixia? Walking One would be a friend to these ones. This one is overjoyed. But this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. Delexia. You'll notice that Kraken has withdrawn. He stays out for 30 minutes. Unless you're in an instance or something which stops the timer, or you're riding them, actually, which also stops the timer. Walking One is a friend to these ones. Friendly like gracious elder one of Forest City. Knows how to dance into these ones' hearts. Dancing diplomacy. Pelixia! Let me dance for you. Do, 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 do. Walking One has sprightly steps. This one is amused, but this one is still sleepy. Immediate. How charming! You'll fit right in here in Little Solace, but be forewarned, though. Such pleasantries will get you nowhere with the Sylphs who dwell in the homeland. The homeland is over here. The Sylphlands, in fact, and you can see from that it is a higher level area. It's where most of the 40 plus quests take place. Oh, there's two people over here. Marinter. I will dance for you. Magnificent. You'd make an excellent ambassador to Little Solace, friend. Mind you, not all Sylphs are so welcoming of outsiders. The woodland sprites would gut you before you got your feet off the ground. So she's warning us that the Sylphs through here are tempered, just like the Amalja are tempered. So they are enthralled to Ramu. Nathaxio. As far as I know, sylphs don't have genders. Oh, this walking one is a dancing one. This one is always happy to see dancing ones. So we have now diplomatically danced for almost everybody. And hopefully this will. Demajen, would you like to hear the good news or the bad news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solace. The better news? Oh, sorry, better news, not bad news. That's expectations. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed Ahem. Let's start that again. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg cramps. Onward to our next adventure. That opens up a couple of quests. Level 21 quests. We are only 10 levels too high. Papalimo has a notion of how you might endear yourself to the sylphs of Little Solace. Demajen, as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, wouldn't you say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You'd be better off inquiring with Hera Imedia. Of the Gridanians who reside here, she is most likely to be privy to the sylphs' troubles. Still getting hiccups. Weird. Ah, you've returned. Praise be to the... A fate has spawned on top of us. Ah, you've returned. Praise be to the elementals. Cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray, hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defences. Consequently, beasts from miles around, are free to wander in and terrorise the hapless residents. A little bit like what is happening right now. If you could put down the Zizgorlins and Gallnats that roam these parts, 5 of each should suffice. The sylphs and I would be eternally grateful. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 5 brownie bushes as well. They play an important role in sylphic culture. Don't claim to know the details. And what with such feral beasts prowling the forest, they're not easily come by. When you're done with the deeds, seek out Camuxio. He's slow to warn to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost on him. My own experience speaks to this. Okay, so all of these gnats are attacking. We are far too high level to do anything. Let's summon the Kraken. Let's kill some Ziz. Aziz Light. Tank. You'll notice that Shield Swipe does not cancel out our combo. Almost all abilities in the game that proc from evasions or being hit or blocking something don't interrupt any combos that you might be in the middle of. Which is good. Brownie bush, brownie bush. It used to be that you could not ride your mount, or any mount other than your company chocobo, when you got your chocobo out. But these days, you can actually ride anyone you want. ring. You can ride anyone you want, and when you dismount, your chocobo will come back, which is a delightful quality of life change. And I can't remember when they implemented that either. It was towards the end of Heaven's Ward, if I remember correctly. So it's not that long ago. Our chocobo should have leveled up by now. Oh no, not quite. It's getting there. Oh, he's only getting 15 XP at a time. You'll notice that we are down to plus 260. And the reason for that is that our brand new ring is no longer working. Oop, that's all of those. You'll also notice that Shield Swipe is actually not on the global cooldown, so you don't need to wait for the 2.5 seconds to hit it, which is great. One more brownie bush, which is a brownie brush rather, which is over here. Dancing One is still here. Dancing One can dance all night. This one's trust is not so easily earned. Legend says that Eorzea was once inhabited by a race of tiny creatures called brownies, and they would use the spores of this particular mushroom to paint their faces for battle. Dancing One brings brownie brushes for this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing One kills bitey buzzy ones. This one hates bitey buzzy ones. Dancing One is kind. Too kind. Many walking ones come to these one's abode, but few are friendly like Dancing One. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust Dancing One after all. So a little bit of diplomacy has gone a long way. We're now into the 21 stretch. I think we've actually been in the 21 stretch for a couple of quests already. But we are into the third chunk. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 48 quests in the level 21 to 30 range. And we are on number 4. This one asks Dancing One for forgiveness. These ones have many troubles since Walking Ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing One is not like other Walking Ones. This one can trust Dancing One. This one would ask Dancing One for help. Strange Walking Ones with bodies of steel come to the home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones come from Empire. Where Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing Ones to help this one no more. Dancing one is friends with these ones and walking ones, yes? Dancing one must speak to these ones here and walking ones in hut house and find out more. This one has bad feeling. This one fears steel ones are after something. But this one should speak no more. Go, dancing one. This one depends on kindness of dancing one. This fight is annoying me. I am going to get rid of it. I am actually doing this for another reason, which I shall reveal to you in a moment. And by in a moment I mean when we've completed it. This should be the last one. There we go. So you still get a reasonable chunk of XP, but when you get synced down too far, the XP obviously doesn't really add up. The storm seals don't scale either. Okay. Strange steel walking ones, yes, this one has seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking ones hunt for shiny treasure. This one likes treasure. This one says, steel walking ones are scary, like touched ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Do 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 do. Ooh, the big fly fate has popped. Prince of Pestilence. The Prince of Pestilence has been spotted spreading corruption in this area. Victor! No. Victor! Person types clad to stone steel, you say? Imperial soldiers, no doubt. Couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. One thing you may or may not have noticed is that our little wind-up Nanamo has disappeared. For some reason, not entirely sure what, I assume it's due to PS3 limitations or something. Not that they matter anymore. You can't have a chocobo and a minion out at the same time. If you try and summon one, unable to summon minion while companion is deployed. Money! Men clad in strange armour? Well, now you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. They were not adventurers. His royal repugnance. We are not going to. You'll notice, I forgot to mention this, in the hunting log, now that we've joined a grand company, we've also got one for the Maelstrom. These enemies start at 20, and some of them actually you only get in dungeons. For example, the Heckler Imps are found in Halatali, as is the Doctor and Fireman. Fireman's one of the bosses actually in Halatali. But there are also enemies out in the open world, and they can vary wildly in level. But rather than giving XP, these give Grand Company seals, but you can only do them once. So it's only if you're really short on seals that you really want to be doing those. This one is happy to see Dancing One return. What did Dancing One learn? This one sees steel walking ones come from Empire, carry boxes and go walking deep, deep through trees. As this one thought, steel walking ones up to nasty no good things. This one knows forest well. Steel walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one would borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes mark, right there, here. This is where steel ones hide, this one knows. Dancing One will go look for steel ones, yes? Yes. Yes, we will. So the Garleans are trying to make some inroads into Sylphland territory. Ooh. Tension. Right. This weather effect, which has made everything look really cool, is the tension weather effect, and this shows that the Odin fate, Superboss fate, is going to spawn or has spawned. I've only ever actually seen it a couple of times, but it's a super spoopy cool effect. Oops. You know how I was saying ages ago that I'd put Convalescence down here and my stun there? Sometimes these bug out and you end up having to fight them a couple of times. It's to do with where you fight them. Of course, it's not a massive issue. Let's look at these suspicious boxes. I still can't read the Eorzean script. Tension's still going. But yeah, the fate now scales for Odin all the way up to level 70, I believe. So we don't really want to go and get involved in that because we will get murderized. But it's a cool weather effect. Dancing One is back! This one breathed a sigh of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something? Dancing One found paper inside a box. This is a message from Empire. This one can read Walking One's symbols. Message paper has names of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes, this one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from home of these ones. How do Steel Walking Ones know to find them? Is there a sneaky one hiding behind this one's wings? Snooping ones selling secrets to steal walking ones? This one fears for one's home, but Dancing One has helped this one much today. Dancing One must promise to always be friends to these ones. So we are finding traitors. This is our first level 22 quest. Helpful One arrives at a good time. This one needs Helpful One's help. One of these ones named Claxio ventured outside Los Solis alone. Alone is unsafe. Helpful One must find Claxio. Claxio struck west after leaving the settlement. Hurry, before Claxio ends up in the belly of a beastly one. Claxio, as we will very quickly discover, does not really want to be found. What? Walking One wants this one to return to Little Solace? Don't make this one laugh. This one is weary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on Walking Ones for everything. No better than those ones that summoned a Primal One. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought this a likely place to build a home, but then Meddling One arrives, forces this one to go deeper into the forest. Meddling One is forbidden from following this one. Away with Meddling One. And we do actually go away. What? Claxio refused to return to these ones and went deeper into the forest. But this one saw touched ones lurking in the forest. Helpful One must hurry and find Claxio. Helpful One should search for pieces of thread on the forest floor. These things will lead Helpful One to Claxio, but hurry, before touched ones take Claxio away. So we don't head back for long. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Wild boars. The other thing about the Odin fight is that it doesn't actually show up on the map. But it looks cool. What's that? Oh, that's a spool of thread. Right, we've got an instance battle here. Stuff's going to happen. If your level is above 26, it will be synced. We are most definitely above level 26. Meddling One is back! This one told Meddling One to be gone. Tell Kamuxio that this one will never go back. Never! Touched ones? Touched ones should go away too. This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Demajen. These sylphs have been tempered, brought under the thrall of the primal Ramu. Akin to the Umalja tempered by Ifrit, these sylphs exist only to serve their deity. They'll not answer to words, only steal. I take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. So, it's time. You'll notice that it doesn't give us the levels for these. But it does give us the levels for these, which is supposed to be an indicator of which ones we're supposed to go and kill. Ooh, these are healers. No, that one's the healer. So there's something strange about the mobile. Like maybe the fact that they're not normally here. Oh. I'm sure that used to be harder. This one is safe? This one was so scared. Claxio, this one has been worried. So very worried. Is Claxio unharmed? Still in possession of wits? Kamuxu? And meddling one as well. Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. The Claxio is safe fills this one with joy. Kamuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solace. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solace were changing, becoming friendly with other ones. This one feared that these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like touched ones did. But this one was wrong. This one can see that now. Meddling up, a helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solace to be with Kamuxio and friendly ones. Wave. Well, that should see to that. I'd say we return to Little Solace as well. I, for one, could do with a nice hot bath. You'll notice that in the log here, we're back up to the 320% experience points bonus. And that is because items like this work at whatever your current level is. So if you're synced down to 50 or below in the case of the Alamegan earrings, or 30 or below in the case of the brand new ring, it counts as you being that level in terms of your XP gain. Now obviously if you're level 69 and you're in a level 15 dungeon and you've got those rings on and you're getting a good chunk of XP, that's still not a huge amount when you've got millions and millions of XP required, but it's something. But that's how that works. So if you see a weird percentage down there and you're wondering why that is, that's why. These ones thought Claxio was lost forever. Sorry, this one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful ones saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones. But Helpful one is kindest and strongest of all. Helpful one is a hero to these ones. Helpful one will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one will take Helpful one to see Elder one. But Elder one is... Mount speed in Middle Lenosha has increased. Okay, so this is new. This came in with the latest certain areas of the game. The starter areas, basically, you can now increase your mount speed in. So we can now travel around certain areas faster. So you can tell that that is a little bit faster than it used to be. And these are tied to your progression in the main story quest. That being said, you can also see that there is a second rank, and that second rank is unlocked via the hunt, which is something we don't have access to yet. Bearing in mind that this is only ground mount speed. So in areas like the Draining Forelands or the Mists or Azislar where you can fly, this makes zero difference whatsoever. It is only for ground mount speed. So you want to be getting it for the Realm Reborn areas, the 2.0 areas, but you don't realistically need to be worried about getting it for the Heavensward areas, because you can fly there. Eventually. Kamuxio would make a confession to you. This one must ask Kind One's forgiveness. This one made promise to take Kind One to see Elder One, yes, but this one cannot. This one cannot because Elder One is not here. Elder One is not anywhere. Elder One went into the forest yesterday but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder One often goes into the forest but never for this long. Kind One will help find Elder One, yes? Near where Elder One disappeared is the home of Walking One named Buscarun. Buscarun may know what happened to Elder One. This one would talk to Buscarun, but Walking Ones do not always trust these ones. Would Kind One talk to Buscarun for this one? And Kind One comes from Gridania, yes? In Gridania live many Kind Ones, yes? This one begs of Kind One, please go to Gridania and ask fellow Kind Ones for help, and please hurry. These ones are not safe until Elder One returns. Right, there are some people charging past, so I'm assuming that Odin is up and around here. So I'm just going to go and have a little bit of an explore. Oh, he's here in fact. It's a level 50 fate. There's Odin. Interesting thing about Odin and the lore about Odin is that he takes on the shape of... Oh, he's level 60. It takes on the shape of whoever killed him, I think, last. Obviously, we can't kill this guy. But the music is awesome. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Atop his mighty steed, clad in armour darkening the void, the elder primal Odin has returned to Urza to exact his brutal judgment upon the realm. Somebody just came and laughed at me. That's nice. Do we still have the sprout thing on? Can't tell. Right, so we need to go and speak to Vosai at the Adder's Nest. Not entirely sure why I am running when we... Oop, no, not there. When we can teleport to the Adder's Nest. I think that is the extent of our stuff at Little Solace for a while. Well, if it isn't our intrepid ambassador, I fear your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes. The Elder One's gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the Tempered Ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure the Sylphs that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be on the lookout night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Guillaume Molko at Brentbank Meadows and deliver the message that the Wood Whalers are needed in the search efforts. We've amassed a reasonable amount of gil now, so I'm going to save the Aetheryte tickets for longer teleports. The Wood Whalers of the Lancers Guild. A message from Commander Hula, you say? The Sylph Elder has vanished. Worry not, friend. The Wood Whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder's anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. And then we need to speak to Buscaron, who is down here. We haven't actually been. Sticky spacebar. We have been down here because we've been down here to, and round to the right to Tamtara Totorak. Tamtara. One of these days it will stop getting those two confused. But the other way takes us down to the Lavender Beds, which is the Gridania housing area, and down to the South Shroud. Oh, this weather effect is so cool. Do, 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 do. We're actually at an appropriate level to fill out that hunting log now as well. Ooh. Oh, jeez, my eyes. Okay, so this is Buscaron's Druthers. It's a little hub of quests. And this is the man himself, complete with his eye patch and surprisingly weird looking collar. Well met, adventurer, with the finest grog and grub this side of... Not here to fill your belly then? Ah, hunger for news, is it? Ah, there's been talk of a sylph lurking hereabouts, but I couldn't rightly say if it were the elder you seek. These woodland scamps all look alike. Short of painting one red and another one blue, most folk would struggle to tell two of them apart. Basically because they all do actually look the same. Except, ironically, for the elder. If you've the time map, you could stay a while and see what the gods have in store. You never know. You might even stumble across this sylph elder yourself. you'll notice that we're still getting big chunks from completing main story quests. The egg of a domesticated chicken. Why is that? What? Also, you can get one of these terrible hats. Sexy as hell. Right. No word on the Sylph Elder yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favour for old Busco and in return? Right then. Let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight. And I need you to cool him off for me. No need to go cracking any skulls though. Just grab the tub out back, fill it with cold water and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish, but as soon as it turns violent, I've got to put my boot down. Ooh, I've got hiccups. Ugh. Right, so out to the back. Grab some water. So grab a tub, then grab some water. Keep on using. Okay. That was a little bit more complicated than I'd realised. And here is the guy that we've got to... What are you staring at? You want to keep your eyes on your face? And... Splish! Ugh! Nofgasters, that's cold. What do you mean no fighting? This Duskwhite scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. The bastard gets to keep his skin. For now. Nicely done, Demajen. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of that outburst is a Duskwhite Elzen. There are people who shun cities to live in the wilds, making them no better than brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, the Duskwhites can be an unruly lot, but they ain't so bad once you get to know them. And it don't seem right to bar a whole race of people from the Druthers for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone willing to pay the coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? Still very low level weapons, that's obviously. I appreciate all the good you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I've got a favour of my own to ask you. There's a Kikran friend of mine, you see, name of Tataroon. Good lad. It's right after the calamity that I came across him falling in the shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc, so I took him in and nursed him back to health best I could. He worked here at my druthers for a spell after that. Got to talking about striking out on his own he did, and not long after, cast his lot with a merchant bound for Nosha. Well, it just so happens I got to clean up around here and came across something of his. This scarlet earring. I know he was fond of the thing, but he must have forgotten it when he left, so I'd like to see it gets to him. Can't say for sure where he ended up, but might be a friend of mine can. A Rugadin fellow named Bensing. You can find him on Orcus Alley in Limsa Leminsa. He knows everything of the comings and going of merchants there. So we get to do a little bit of travelling. We need to go to Limsa. Use one of our tickets for that. So we are closing in on our next story dungeon, which is at level 24. So we're doing 23. Yes, I think we're doing level 23 quest currently. Oh, I can check, can't I? Yeah. Have I attuned to this one? I don't think I have. Oh, I have. Ooh, while we're here, Arya has completed adventure. To claim the fruits of your retainer's labour, select View Venture Report from the retainer menu. Complete. And that puts it up to level 5. Confirm. So she's gained experience. She can only gain experience up to our maximum level on the class that she is currently. Equipping additional gear to your retainer will increase both the quantity and quality of the items found. So if we give her better stuff, for example, there we go. Won't change much at this level, but yes, there you go. See, maximum level 31 because we're level 31. Because she's a gladiator, we still technically gain gladiator experience points. So if I took off my soul crystal, I'd turn into a level 31 gladiator. Now, she should be able to access level 5 ventures. So she can go out and do that. What does she actually bring back? Some stuff. Stuff and things. Right, here's Bensing. You found your way to Orca's Alley, friend. Huh? Kickeroon what works at the Druthers? Ah, you speak of Tetteroon. Related to that Kickeroon bloke just over there by some blood or one another. Two of them putting together and were making good coin, but old Tetteroon up and left him not long ago. Couldn't say as to why or where. You're better off asking Kickeroon himself. He can be tight-lipped though. I warn you, best to take a chicken egg with you. Little bastard loves the bloody things. Heh. Good to hear about old Busk though. Sounds as though he ain't changed. A bit. Just like him to send a venture along. Too shy to come his own self. God, some drinking with that fool. That's why it gives you a chicken egg. Okay, it didn't used to do that. You had to go and buy one. You could actually buy them from one of the merchants on this very alley. But now they must give it to you so that you're never at a loss. Customer be welcome. Not customer? Not come with custom? Kickeroon busy with business, too busy for blather. Chicken egg! Kickeroon love chicken egg. Love chicken egg more than love customer. Looking for Tetteroon. Tetteroon no here no more. Tetteroon leave them, mister. Tetteroon go looking for sparklies. Now working at trading post. Good trading post. Forget where trading post is. Winburg no Tetteroon. Winburg no trading post. Winburg at ferry docks. You go to ferry docks. Kickeroon forgets things. Winburg remembers things. You talk to Winburg, not Kickeroon. We could actually just warp down to Fisherman's Bottom, but never mind. So here's Weinberg, or Weinberg I suppose. Tetteroon? Oh, I've seen him. That is to say, I saw him. He was heading somewhere up north by way of the ferry to Aleport. Might as well head there and see what you can suss out. The skipper here can take you there. When you arrive, I'd start by asking after Eldfoot. He's an old hand who knows a great deal about a great many things. This ferry is bound for Aleport. Are you riding with us? Yep. Right, backing them out. Right. So this is Old Foot. Tertaroon, I saw him. That's to say, I've seen him. Took himself north through Skull Valley into Oakwood. Was looking for a place run by his fella Kikrin. I reckon he meant the one right on the shore of Bronze Lake. Memoon's trading post. Follow the road and he's sure to find it. So this is sending us doing a little bit of exploring, opening up the world a little bit more for us. And also, actually, unless you you came up this way to do stuff in your hunting log like I did, you might not actually have been up into Upper Lenosha. But of course we have. Because I am quote unquote efficient. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh, that there is Marbury. Marbury is a level 50 hunt mob. He's also an aggressive hunt mob. Get too close and he will cut you. You don't want that. Okay, here's Tertaroon. Customer be welcome. Not customer? Not come with custom? Bring something for Tertaroon. Tertaroon, forget this. Forget it, druthers. Tertaroon swore would never forget hearing, but never forgot. Tertaroon thank. Good Buscarun doing good. Good Buscarun good to Tertaroon. Tertaroon miss good Buscarun. You have learnt the role action Reprisal. Reprisal? Oh, well, we've also unlocked another slot. Reprisal lowers the target's damage dealt by 10% for 5 seconds on a 60-second cooldown. It's... yeah. It's okay. But we're going to take Provoke instead. Because it's useful. Tertaroon has places for you to go and thingies for you to get. Good Buscarun help Tertaroon. Tertaroon dead without good Buscarun. Must give thankies, many thankies. Tertaroon make quicken firewater for Buscarun. Buscarun love firewater. Ooh, excuse me. You help Tertaroon make firewater? Need thingies to make. Need many thingies. Need good water. Good water from Fool Falls. And need curl whiskers. Need 5 good curl whiskers. So it's another fetch quest. Oops. Where does that take us? Does that take us up to? Ooh. That takes us to Bronze Lake. I was going to say, remind me to go there in a second, but you can't do that because I doubt many people are watching this live. Actually, let's check. Is anybody watching this live? Hello, if you are. I really should keep chat open actually, just in case. But since there are many people streaming Final Fantasy XIV, should keep chat open actually, just in case. I shall also mute myself. Where am I? What am I doing? What's going on? That's a lot of kobolds. Right. Ooh. Simurg is up. You may remember that we actually killed some of these things for the hunting log ages ago. I had completely forgotten that we were going to end up Simurg is a cool looking mob. I think he might aggro us if we get too close. So let's find out. But yeah, it's a cool bird insect thing. Not really sure. Simurg is quite famous, infamous arguably, as being a notorious monster in Final Fantasy XI that drops some pretty good stuff. Can't remember what, but it was worth killing. This area has reminded me that there are also, or there would also be, a variety of other guild hests to do. Right, let's head back to Teteroon. Do. Teteroon make firewater for Muskeroon. You bring thingies Teteroon need? You brought all thingies. Teteroon make firewater now. Make good firewater for good Muskeroon. Teteroon start making firewater now. Good firewater take time, more good. You come back later. It used to be, before Rogue Stroke Ninja was introduced, that this here would be some more of those Allegan pieces, but they just simply replaced it for the Rogue stuff. So we will take the staff because it sells for slightly more. Finally, gonna get an upgraded piece of armour. Well, very slightly upgraded, to be honest. Teteroon appears to have finished his gift. Teteroon make firewater. Good firewater. You take to Muskeroon. Good firewater for good Muskeroon. Tell Muskeroon no drink now. Tell put away 1 year. 1 year make best flavour. Teteroon makes Muskeroon happy. Teteroon give Muskeroon thankies. Many thankies. You tell Muskeroon. Teteroon make big shops and they biggest shop in Eorzea. Many sparklies. All thanks to good Muskeroon. We need to go back to Muskeroon, but first I'm going to take a little trip over to the other side because up here there is Camp Bonds Lake and we shouldn't be anywhere near this level, but this is a cool area, and there we have the Wanderer's Palace. As you can see, these are level 34 enemies, so if we were here at the right time, i.e. level 23, the enemies around here, like that Mamul Jar there, would absolutely kick our ass. But thanks to the Road to 60 and the various accessories that we've got. However, because we are around this level, slightly too. Suppose we could technically wear these. Ooh, God, they're hideous. Of course we can dye them. You know, those would be reasonably chunky upgrades. But unfortunately, they're quite expensive and we're not exactly rolling in the gill. So, that being said, it's possible. That's level 34. That's also level 34. Weirdly enough, it's also usable by Black Mage. The quarry mill. Yes. Yes, we shall use that. This place on my cheek that I've bitten really quite hurts. Right, so we're on our way back to Buscaroon. Buscaroon. See, now I'm doing it. Buscaroon. Buscaroon. Bus. Who knows? Ah, you returned. Thank you for seeing Tetrarune's belongings to him. What's this? For me? Quicken Firewater, a foul brew that is made by tossing various items found in the wild, both live and dead, into a barrel of water and letting the concoction ferment for nights under the warm sun. Quicken Firewater. So he remembers my fondness for the drink, does he? Why, that old... Huh. Oh, bloody hell. Who's cutting onions back there? He sells the shelf it for a year, does he? Oh, that sounds about right. I hate to have to wait, but I reckon it'll be worth it. This stuff has an aroma and body unlike any other drink I know. It's going to be a long year. What say you come back then, friend? We'll see if we can't make it through this bottle together. We're getting to that point where the cool fashion of that starter gear that we got at level 15 is starting to slip a little bit. Oh, dear Lord. Right. There was no word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the wood, but near no lands of their own. No, this was a place near to here, a place we've never known a sylph to come. Oh, sorry, there was word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the wood, but near no lands of their own. No, this was a place near to here, a place we've never known a sylph to come. Something must have given them cause to venture this far. More than like the missing sylph elders among them. Here, I've marked the tract where they were sighted on your map. Go see if there's anything to be seen. Overgrown offering. Can't remember if these will aggro. shockingly, Garleans. Oh yes. Right, so the Kraken. Oh, these do aggro. The Kraken has leveled up. And each time he levels up, whatever rank he gets to, he gets that many SP. So I can spend 2 to get Enhanced Mind. Or I'm actually going to take him the attacker route first. Now obviously that puts us down to 1, which is kind of awkward. Gonna leave that for now. But you'll notice that opens up the attacker stance. More importantly, it allows him to do a little bit more damage in combat, which is useful. So we're looking for Garleans. Well, no, technically we were looking for the Sylph Elder, but methinks he has found some Garleans. Ha! You guys are too low level. I keep going to say Triskelion. Triskelion is the name of my chocobo on my main. Bye, Kraken. You have been released. Oop. Right, and back to Buscaman. So there was aught to be found in the wood. What did you come to? Garleans? In this part of the Twelveswood? Huh. First Sylphs, now Garleans, and all in the same place. Can't be mere coincidence. Might the Garleans be following the Sylphs, tracking them and giving chase, maybe? But no, they're not this far into the forest. The Wailer spies are everywhere. Imperials could never have stolen past them all. How in the bloody else could they? Unless someone guided them, though, through. Someone who knows where the spies stand and where the Whalers watch. A traitor. I'm glad you come, friend. There's something I want to talk to you about. You know, I sort of thought we might have a traitor in our midst. Someone who was aiding the Garleans. Well, I'm thinking I might have identified our suspects. There's a regular of mine who used to dine on thin soup and sip his pint on account of not being able to afford another, but of late he's taken to order my best wines and the finest cut meats I can lay my hands on. Were he a merchant, I'd probably think nothing of it, but this lad's a wood whaler, and wood whalers don't earn that kind of coin. By chance, I was musing on where the money was coming from when you first told me about the Guardians in the forest. I couldn't help putting two and two together. Suffice it to say, if a whaler's working for the Empire, none of us is safe. The lad I'm talking about goes by the name of Laurentius. Last I heard, he was in the South Shroud. Find him, Demajen. And if he is up to no good, put an end to it, and him, if it comes to that. He's actually working here. And he's going to run off a few times, if I remember correctly. Can you not see I'm on patrol? Be gone. If you have business with the whalers, take it to the barracks. You again? I told you I'm busy with my duties. Now piss off. Not suspicious at all. And if I remember correctly, we're going to get attacked this time, or was there one more? Not long now. To think patrol routes and rations would fetch such a price. No more than I deserve, though. 'Tis little wonder the Empire has risen to such heights. If only the whalers paid men there would... You! What did you... How long have you... Help! 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 Please! Come quick, my friends. It's I, Laurentius. I'm under attack. A foreboding wind. How did you... You just... I know nothing. I was on patrol. You just appeared. I thought you were working for the Guardians. Yeah. Speak with Laurentius. Again. Now, we need to go down... Down here. Oops. Stuck on a route. And I think... we get attacked again. Where is he? There he is. What? Why are you following me? Leave me be. I told you. That Guardian just appeared. I know nothing. Ah. Yes. There is a proper fight. Speak with Laurentius one final time. Nouveau riche. How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough! Enough, I say! You're a traitor, bitch. It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I meant no harm. I only wanted the coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join the ranks. I'm proud. But they don't provide. They preach justice, honour, duty, but in the end it's those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So I saw an opportunity to change my fortunes and took it. All I've done for money. Endangered myself, my home, everything and everyone I love. Why my actions have put your life in danger too. Though you do not yet realise how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine you cornered me? It's not I who's cornered. Guardians! I bought the ARR, bitch. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the power of Garlemald? We need a veritable mountain of guild to fund such an endeavour. Such is the cost of fighting great power, or of making it, or of remaking it. as we will Gridania. So that's the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk at the barracks for a feather bed in Garlemald, did you? You there, ARR. You stand here at old Busk's wish, no? And you don't stand alone. Got some friends. If you are on level for these instance battles, they tend to be of a reasonable risky challenge. If you are synced down, as we are, they tend to be a little bit easier. And again, you can see that because we're under level 30, we've getting that extra XP. The kill claws have turned up to help fight. Everybody likes Buscaron. I think those guys can make do over there. I don't know whether these guys run out of MP or not. Either way, this is the end for you, Laurentius. You traitor. Screw you. Impossible. How did you best the Empire's finest, with bandits and poachers at your side? They are sworn enemies. Why do they fight with you and not against you? But I know the answer only too well. Buscaron, this is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act. Better men than I. Gus, what have I done? What have I become? I'm sorry. No more will I pursue this follow. No more lies, no more bribes. I'll go to the Order of the Twin Adder and confess my crimes. There's something I would like you to tell Buscaron. Tell him Laurentius the Fool says, thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. I have a feeling he shows up again at some point. In fact, I have a feeling he might become one of the Crystal Braves. But anyway. That is a story for another time. And about 40 levels. Right, back to Buscaron. How long have we been streaming? 3 hours. Sounds about right. I, Laurentius, confessed to his crimes. I just had word from the Twin Adder. Seems he marched straight into the nest and gave himself up. Lad's had quite a life, you know. His mother was killed by a brigand when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the Whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Gridanians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, Protecting Gridania is too big a job for one man, and he came to believe that he couldn't make a difference, that it was hopeless. There are few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the dark is easily drawn to the glimmer of a coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot of his fellow men, he may as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow he had failed to grasp one simple truth, that those things we cannot do alone, we must do together. Eh? He asked you to thank me, did he? Then there's good in him yet. I just hope them at the Adder's Nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be offered a chance to make amends. But let's leave fate to the 12. I have other news for you, Demajen. The Sylph Elder has been found. Into the Beast's Maw. This unlocks a dungeon. Buscarin has reliable information regarding the whereabouts of the Sylph Elder. This is the first level 24 quest. Hi guys. It's taken us a fair old while, but we've finally got our hands on some reliable information concerning the whereabouts of your missing green friend. Ahem! His name is FFXIV, and he is the eldest amongst the Sylphs of Little Solace. Long has he represented his kind in dialogue with the Gridanians. Yes, he's like a bridge between us and them, a small, leafy green bridge that we can't find at the moment. And bridges are no use if you don't know where they are. That's why it's so important that we find him. There's an abandoned dungeon called the Thousand Moors of Totorak here in the South Shroud. Just by the entrance to your place that FFXIV was seen, and not long ago neither. If you hurry, I reckon you'll find him. Waking ones, please help this one. This one needs help. Needs help to help Elder One. Poor FFXIV. Poor FFXIV. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold your chocobos. Take a deep breath and tell us what's wrong. Nice and slow. Elder One went to Totorak, but has not returned. This one is worried, so very worried. And you're right to be. The place fair crawls with nasties waiting to make a meal of anyone daft enough to wander in. What the seven else was he thinking entering that bloody death trap? Elder One had no choice. Imperial ones were chasing Elder One. Please, walking ones must help Elder One. Help Elder One now! Oh, the fates conspire against us. Forgive my pragmatism, but FFXIV is our best hope of reaching an accord with the Sylphs. Were we to lose him, all our efforts thus far will have been for naught. I will tend to her wounds. Ida, make haste to the Adder's Nest and request assistance. Understood. Demajen, go to the Thousand Moors of Totorak and see that FFXIV comes to no harm. Peace between man and Sylph rests upon your success. And here we are. Blosron. By order of the Elder Seed-Seeker, the dungeon Seed-Seer the dungeon known as the Thousand Moors of Totorak has been placed under the control of... What? The Sylph Elder's inside? And you're sure of this? How the seven hells did he manage to sneak by? God strike me down for a blind fool. You must find the Sylph Elder before he falls prey to the fiends within. Entrance to Totorak is ordinarily restricted, but these are exceptional circumstances. Pray, assemble a rescue party and enter as soon as you are ready. And as per usual, this opens up the dungeon in the duty finder for us. And we've also got Halatali there. We do eventually fall into a pattern, I think, of dungeons every 3 levels? No, every 2 levels. Odd numbered ones. But not until Heavensward. That being said, we are not going to go and do that this evening. Because it is late. 3:30. Been streaming for 3 hours. 3¼ hours. And that is not a bad chunk of content. But as you can see, the Realm Reborn story is pretty substantial. There's a lot of running around and doing stuff. And obviously, having to do all the voices for people takes some time as well. A lot of people will just spam click through the story. But that's the point of this, deliberately not doing so. So there we have it. Okay. It's time for me to go to bed. Can you? Don't think you can wave from Chocobo back. Can't remember. Oh, you can. Why am I waving at the sky? Oh, it's a very pretty sky. Sorry, you're looking at a Chocobo's arse there. Goodbye. Goodbye and good